Hello students, welcome. So today we are going to start a new unit, unit 16, chemistry in everyday life. So in this unit we are going to discuss, as the name suggests, chemistry in everyday life. That means in the different categories we use different type of chemicals or chemical reactions. So we are going to discuss about that, and we are going to know more about chemistry which is involved in our daily routines. So let's check about the objectives of this unit. So as the mentioned objectives are: visualize the importance of chemistry in daily life, explain the term chemotherapy. Now it is medicinal use of chemical or chemistry. Describe the basis of classification of drugs. That means our first category will be medicines or drugs in which we use chemistry. Explain drug target interaction of enzymes and receptors. Explain how various type of drugs functions in body, and know about the artificial sweetening agents and food preservatives. So second topic will be about foods. And last, discuss the chemistry of cleansing agent. That means household utensils. So, introduction part: by now you have learned the basic principles of chemistry and also realized that it influences every sphere of human life. That means, as we know, our stomach digests food, which is a part of chemistry. Then when we breathe, different type of chemical exchange occurs in our body, and because of that we can separate out oxygen and then we can deliver it to different parts of body organs. Then cells, our body part or different cells do not have mouth, so how can they get energy from the food we absorb? So it is because of one type of phenomenon which is known as osmosis. We already learned about osmosis. So because of osmosis, cells can exchange nutrients or liquids from outer atmosphere. So these are the few examples which are involved in our body. Similarly, outside the body, we use many different type of chemicals, as for example, hair oils or soaps or food items. All of them are one type of chemical. Even cooking is a one type of chemistry. So it is related to us in every section of our regular routines, inside the body or outside the body. And these type of chemical principles are used for benefit of mankind. Think of cleanliness. The material like soap, detergent, household bleaches, toothpaste, etc. will come to your mind, and all of these are one type of chemicals, and they are made by specific type of chemistry practicals or chemistry reactions. If we look towards the clothes, then all of the man-made synthetic fibers are result of chemistry. So in our regular clothings, we use multiple type of different type of artificial fibers or man-made fibers or synthetic fibers. Now food material, again number of chemicals will come in mind. As for example, as a preservative we use different type of chemicals. For example, vinegar is generally used for preservative and it is a chemical. Similarly, many different type of preservatives, naturally or synthesized, all of them are one type of chemical, and they prevent spoiling of food with the help of chemistry. Then let's talk about the health products. So many different type of medicines are being used, and we know that how they are made. Obviously they are made by chemical reactions in pharmaceuticals. Different type of medical drug related points will be discussed in this unit, and their uses and different type of drug actions will be discussed as well. And it is deeply embedded in our life. This type of chemistry is deeply embedded, so that we don't even realize. Usually we use chemistry in almost every step of our daily routines, and we are also one type of chemical creation, and all our activities are controlled by different type of chemicals. As for example, different type of proteins, DNAs, enzymes, hormones, etc. So all of this chemistry is either involved directly or indirectly with us, and either inside the body or outside the body we use it by knowingly or unknowingly. So in this unit, we shall learn the application of chemistry in three important and interesting areas, namely medicines, food materials, and cleansing agents. So our first main category will be drugs and their classifications. So drugs are the chemical of low molecular masses from 100 to 500 atomic mass unit. These interact with the macromolecule targets and produces a biological responses. When the biological response is therapeutic and useful, these chemicals are called medicines and are used in diagnosis, prevention and treatment of diseases. Most of the drugs used as a medicines are potential poisons. So keep in mind, overdose of these type of chemicals are dangerous for us. That means they can kill us. So simple thing, if we are using, as for example, some addictive chemicals like nicotine, then overdose of nicotine is not as harmful as the medicines. In small quantity, these medicines can cure our illness, but in higher quantity or usually higher than the recommended quantity can even kill us. Okay, or in certain condition it can result in failing in different organs of body. Use of chemicals for therapeutic effect is called chemotherapy. So the word chemotherapy is comparatively familiar to us because it is used in treatment of cancer, but in many different things it is also being used. So it is a common word for the therapeutic use of medicine. It is not specially related to cancer only. Now classification of drugs. So first let's talk about the criteria. So first, on the basis of pharmacological effect. This classification is based on the pharmacological effect on the drugs. It is useful for doctors because it provides them the whole range of drug available for the treatment of particular type of problems. For example, the analgesics have pain killing effects, antiseptics kill or arrest the growth of microorganisms. So these are the two different types of drugs based on pharmacological effect. We are going to discuss in detail in upcoming points. Second category is on the basis of drug action. It is based on the action of drug on particular biochemical processes. So suppose we want to initiate, or suppose if we want to prevent certain kind of biological or biochemical reaction inside the body, then we will use certain type of chemicals, and it is called this it belongs to our second category, basis of drug action. For example, all the antihistamines inhibit the action of the compound. Now, antihistamine, that means it will inhibit the action of histamine, and histamine which causes inflammation in body. So drugs which prevents production of histamine or effect of histamine are called antihistamine. There are various ways in which action of histamine can be blocked, and we will learn about it in upcoming points again. Next, on the basis of chemical structure. It is based on the chemical structure of drugs. Drugs classified in this way share common structural features and often have similar pharmacological activities. For example, sulfonilamide have common structure feature given below. So as we can see, it is one type of aromatic compound and having different type of sulfur, nitrogen and other reactive group as well. So by changing the last reactive group R, we can get different type of sulfonamide drugs. And next category is on the basis of molecular targets. Drugs usually interact with biomolecules such as carbohydrates, lipids, proteins and nucleic acids. These are called target molecules or drug targets. Drugs possessing some common structural feature may have the same mechanism of action on targets. The classification based on the molecule target is most useful classification for medical chemistry. So we are going to discuss this point in upcoming point as well. So most of the points mentioned in this classification will be discussed in this unit, and if some of them are not, then we are going to discuss it in detail in upcoming sections. Next point, drug target interaction. So as the last category suggests, we are going to discuss in detail. So this point is related to our last criteria on the basis of molecular targets. So micromolecules for biological origin perform various functions in the body. For example, protein which performs the role of biological catalyst in body are called enzyme. Those which are crucial to communication system in the body are called receptors. And carrier proteins carry polar molecules across the cell membrane. Nucleic acid have coded genetic information for cell. Lipids and carbohydrates are structural part of cell membrane. We shall explain the drug target interaction with the example of enzyme and receptors. So first, what is enzyme? So as mentioned, they are biological catalyst. They increases the biological reactions with very extreme high rate. Receptors, as mentioned, they are used for communication. As for example, suppose we want certain kind of reaction inside the cell. For that, we need specific type of chemicals to be produced by cell. But how can we initiate this type of reaction without breaking the cell wall or without injecting chemicals inside the cell? For that, receptors come in handy. Some portion of receptors are coming out of the cell which can interact with special type of chemicals, and with the interaction with those special type of chemicals, they can initiate certain type of chemical reactions inside the body. Okay, so they are used for communication purpose without disturbing cell structure. So first point of this main point, enzyme and drug targets. And point A for this point, catalytic action of enzyme. For understanding the interaction between the drug and enzyme, it is important to know how do enzyme catalyze the reaction. In their catalytic activity, enzyme performs two major functions. First, the first function of enzyme is to hold substrate for chemical reaction. Active sites of enzyme hold the substrate molecule in a suitable position so that they can be attacked by reagent effectively. Substrates bind to active sites of the enzyme through variety of interactions such as ionic bond, hydrogen bond, van der Waals interaction or dipole-dipole interaction. So these are the visual representation for demonstration purpose only. So on first we have enzyme, then we have substrate, and we have active site of enzyme. Keep in mind this is for illustration purpose only. Actual molecular structures are different and they are not rigid, so they can change the shape. That means they are flexible. So this is the active site of enzyme, and as we can see it is suitable for our substrate. Because of similar type of shape, our substrate can fit in this shape. If they have different type of shapes, then we can say that specific type of enzyme is useless for other type of substrate. That means suppose we have two different type of substrate, first as mentioned here, and second let us say it has U shape like this. Okay, so we have V shape substrate and U shape substrate. So obviously U shape substrate cannot fit in this enzyme, so this enzyme is completely useless for other shapes. So that's why it is effective for specific type of molecules only. And as the substrate attaches with the enzyme, enzyme will hold it so that it can be attacked with different type of reagents. That means this substrate molecule will be held steadily by the enzyme molecule, and it will activate it as well, so that interaction with other reagents will be speedy and more accurate. And second function of the enzyme is to provide functional groups that will attack the substrate and carry out the chemical reaction. So in short, they will activate and they will hold the substrate on a steady location or surface. That's why concentration can be increased and substrates are easily attacked, and we can get comparatively faster reaction. Now on the second category, that means second part, drugs enzyme interaction. Suppose reaction mentioned in previous step, we don't want it inside the body. So what can we do? So for that we can block the active site of our enzyme so that it cannot be attached with the substrate, or substrate cannot be set on the surface of the active site of the enzyme. So drugs inhibit any of the above mentioned activities of enzyme. This can block the binding site of the enzyme and prevent the binding of substrate, or it can inhibit the catalytical activity of the enzyme. Such drugs are called enzyme inhibitors. Drugs inhibit the attachment of the substrate on the active site of enzyme in two different ways. First thing, it will directly set on the surface or active site. So drugs compete with the natural substrate for their attachment on the active sites of enzyme. Such drugs are called competitive inhibitors. So notice here we have substrate with pink color, drugs with green color. Both of them share similar shape. So both of them can fit in active site of enzyme. So they will compete with each other, and if drug molecule occupies the active site first, then substrate molecules are not able to attach, and that's why our reactions can be inhibited. In second type of process, these type of inhibitors will attach with allosteric sites of our enzyme. Now allosteric sites are a portion of the enzyme which are not active, but with the attachment at the allosteric site, active site will be changed. Shape of active site will be changed. So if shape is changed, then now our substrate cannot attach with it, because it requires specific type of shape for the attachment. So some drugs do not bind to enzymes active sites. These bind to the different site of enzyme which are called allosteric site, and this type of binding is mentioned in figure 16.3. As we can see, when the inhibitor is attached with allosteric site, shape of active site is changed, and now our substrate cannot attach with it, and that's why if it cannot attach with it, then no chemical reaction can be obtained. So that's how it will inhibit the reaction of enzyme.